that sound? How's it sound? Figure out how to. Okay, little test here. There we have it. Should I go through the lineup? Should I go through the lineup? So let me just go ahead and say a few things here. First of all, no questions, please. You're welcome to comment and trash any of these motherfuckers that I talk about. And if you're a fan of one of these motherfuckers or a dipshit idiot, then fuck off. Get lost. Okay? That means you're a friend of the criminals. So I'm actually very sick. I'm very ill. Got the flu. And I've been sick for a little over a week now. And actually, I happen to have decided, I did a stream for my customers earlier in the market, during the market. So I haven't decided to go ahead and, otherwise I wouldn't even come back on here anytime real soon. So, and I have not slept for a very long time. So combined with all of that, my cognitive capacity, or let's say my normal cognitive acuity, is probably not that high. Maybe 80%, if that, 75%. But we're not talking about anything complicated here, so it shouldn't matter. I might misquote, misname, or speak wrongly, but I think you'll probably catch the error. Not quite sure what I should talk about today. I was thinking about talking about our friend, the newcomer, the new kid on the block, the new fake guru detective, Scott Shafer. I've talked about Scotty Boy in the past a little bit briefly. Maybe I should talk about him. What do you guys think? Should I expose Scott Shafer? What do you think? So, Scott Shafer, I just want to tell you this, the folks, here's the situation, okay? Here's what I'm all about. I'm about honesty. You understand? Either you're honest or you're dishonest. There's no well, he's mostly honest. He's 90% honest. No. Either you're honest or you're not honest, you're dishonest. Okay? And I want to talk about Scott Shafer because he's in the same little group. Folks, I'm telling you right now, you got to understand something. If you know me, if you know my judgment, my diligence, my credibility, then just trust what I'm telling you. If you are monetizing on ScamTube, then you're not going to be honest, right? Ask yourself what person is going to put the effort and time to do something for the public, to help the public, if they're not getting paid. How many of these people who supposedly try and help people are going to do that if they're not getting paid? Apparently none of these motherfuckers, because they're all monetizing their channel. You know, and it's a fucking virus. It's a disease. People these days now, they won't even, you can't trust anybody. Oh, well, yeah, you know, when I travel, and I travel around the world, and so I think you should use Safety Wing. It's great for nomads. Oh, click the link below. Yeah, okay, I'm going to trust you and your affiliate link. Take your affiliate link and shove it up your fucking ass. Why can't someone just, you know, give some good information based upon their experience? Why do they have to have their fucking handout all the time? Why? Because they're losers. Folks, credible people with things going on in their lives, real things, providing value to people. They're not on YouTube. They don't have YouTube channels. And the rare exceptions, and there's some rare exceptions, but once I've said before, the exceptions, you know, the guys that they're retired and maybe they're doing this and they start out in a hobby. Folks, the virus gets to them. The monetization virus gets to them. This is all designed to infect people and to make them money worshipers. It's the same thing with all these little apps that are designed to get you to stay on them. Whether it's the trading apps, which are designed to get you to gamble, or what have you. And what this means is that irrespective of the original intent, every single person who's monetizing on YouTube is a nasty human being. And some of them probably shouldn't be classified as human beings. Why are they nasty? Because they don't give a shit about real information. It becomes a fucking business. And that means the content is no longer real. It's not honest. It's not true anymore. You all have to understand that. Any of you who ever had a YouTube channel, then you can probably understand what I'm saying. Okay. This is the problem. So these people who come out and, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to expose this. Oh, so your purpose is to expose the fake gurus. Is that your purpose, or is your purpose to sell fucking ads? You understand what I'm saying, folks? I'm probably giving the most valuable insight on YouTube. I'm not asking for a fucking red penny. I have never taken a red fucking penny in my life for any type of advertisement. Ever. And I feel so fucking proud to make that claim, because I'm not some little kid just starting out. I've had a website now for 17 years or so, 16 years, I don't know, right? Never. And I learned I'm not going to tell the story now, but I learned early on about Google. Criminal company, it is. And that, combined with my own personal experience with the media, and I learned how it all works. It's a intentional scam to screw you. Ad-based content is there to screw you. Think about what ad-based content is. Advertisement-based content. Content that's tagged with ads. It's there to screw you. And that's fact. Let's take a look here. You can see this image I've got I don't know if you're going to find it anymore, but this is when Scott was posting affiliate links, and I think he got uh, a lot of people telling him, "Hey, what are you doing posting affiliate links for these fucking scams? You're supposed to be a scam buster." I don't know. Let's take a look. Actually, let's see if he's doing it. I don't think he is now. Let's take a quick look. I haven't looked, so now I'm curious to see. Okay, let's take a look at his first video. We'll get to this here shortly. It's kind of interesting. I haven't really seen it, but just look at the title and you can kind of
step into Wix.
You can kind of tell.
Studio, the platform for agents.
Yeah, so he's removed it. He's removed his affiliate links. He had them for the longest time. And he got pressured, I think, to remove them. And of course, take a look. Webull, Robinhood, these are two apps that sell order flow, which means the user gets fucked. Okay? The user gets fucked. Guess what? They're getting fucked by hedge funds. They're getting fucked by Ken Griffin, who just purchased a $47 million dinosaur fucking fossil. You know why? Because when money falls from trees, from the air, you just buy anything in sight. And guess where he's making that money from? He's buying order flow. Complete criminal operation. The SEC is allowing it. People are getting fucked on trades. A little here, a little there. Penny here, penny there. Multiply times billions and billions and billions, and you got a lot of money. Okay. I exposed that whole thing, gosh, more than 10 years ago. I was probably the first person to, certainly was the first person to actually discuss what was going on. I did a video, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago on Michael Lewis and E-Trade. I talked about how E-Trade fucked me, and I talked about how I figured out what was going on with Citadel back around 2011. They were the first ones that started payment for order flow before anybody. I mean, you all didn't even hear that term until maybe a couple of years ago. But anyway, so you got these guys like Scott selling affiliate links for scams that are scamming people. And it's a known fact that these trading apps cause you to gamble. They cause you to do things that you would not normally do. Okay? That's fact. And not to mention the fact they're screwing you on every trade. But remember, they don't care. They want to make the cash. So, he uses these guys' names to pretend like, oh, he's gonna criticize them. Why? He wants to sell advertisements to Lord knows what's the advertisement that's going to show up. And then he can also sell you his affiliate links, right? There's another thing here. I remember with Scott, Scott was trying to, and I'm going to mention something here actually. Scott's blocked me from his channel. That's why I'm going to expose his ass. That's right. He's blocked me from his channel. We'll get into that a little bit later. Yeah, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, Scott was also a crypto promoter, and he's since, I think, removed the link to his other channel where he was promoting crypto and probably the crypto videos. All these guys are the same, folks. Okay? They strike deals with the fucking devil. And you know why? because they don't have anything other than a meager existence in most cases. Any exceptions really are maybe they have a, a fledgling business of scamming people. But most of these people, what do you think that they're doing? I mean, Scott, he's selling fucking books and dog food on Amazon. That's his career. You know that, right? You all do know that, right? It's the same with all these guys. But everybody on YouTube, they got one thing in common. They tell you how successful they are or they were. They always have the same story. It doesn't matter the genre. Whether it's these real estate guys or whatever, they've always got a story. And I decided to quit and come on YouTube. You know, like Tom Nash telling everyone he's a successful analyst, and he decided to come on YouTube and expose the grifters. I mean, who the fuck is going to believe that? The YouTube audience, which is dumb as dirt. Or even the guys that, and I know the whole gang of these travel vloggers, these guys retired in the Philippines and Thailand and elsewhere. And they're going to tell you how, yeah, they were successful, yet they're supposed to be retired, yet they're spending their fucking days and nights making content for YouTube because that's how they're surviving. That's a fact. All these guys have these success stories, right? But the fact is they're on YouTube because they're fucking losers. Every single one of them. They're on YouTube because they want to scam people and most of them are unemployable. Most of them are unemployable or marginally employable. The vast majority of them, of these so-called YouTube creators. That's fact. And you're not going to find a real, credible professional that has a YouTube channel, that's running a channel ongoing, making videos constantly and, doing all these things. It's not going to happen. No attorneys, no doctors, no nothing. Everyone else, no engineers. You're going to have people on here that claim that they're like this tech leads. You know this tech leads guy? Absolute fraudster. Some Asian dude who's been on YouTube scamming people for fucking years, and people forget, and they move on, and everyone forgets the history of these people. Yeah, I worked for Google, and you had a low-level job, and you got fucking canned. That's why you're on YouTube. You're not employable. Shut your fucking mouth. Folks, I'm telling you the reality of YouTube. Okay? This is the reality. There's nobody that's truly successful on YouTube other than in scamming people. There's no people that are successful in their craft that are on YouTube, making it YouTube. This is all an illusion. I'm telling you right now. No credible person's going to go on YouTube. They're on YouTube to scam. Now, some of these people, their whole career is scamming. So YouTube is great for them. It's just another addition to their repertoire, right? This is the fact. This is what people don't seem to realize. Wake the fuck up. They're all fucking scammers. All of them. Show me someone who's credible, who's running a YouTube channel. And I'm talking about as basically a full-time job or damn near it. Show me. Nobody. You know why? Because if they're successful, they're spending their time in their business. They're not making fake news, fake content bullshit, creating bullshit to trick kids and stupid, emotionally and mentally ill people to lure them into their courses, into their bullshit. Trust me, I'm a fucking successful professional, and I'm telling you, I stayed away from YouTube from fucking day one. Okay? I could have been on YouTube now for nearly 20 fucking years if I wanted to. I always stayed away. Yeah, if you're a scammer, it's great. YouTube is the video version of ClickBank. YouTube is the video version of ClickBank. You all know what ClickBank is? Everybody know what ClickBank is, right? ClickBank. ClickBank is a website that's kind of an affiliate portal. I don't know how big it is now. I don't know it that well. I just remember hearing about it many years ago. And it's kind of a site I just kind of thought, oh, okay, well, people advertise on ClickBank. And then I looked into it and it was like all scams. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's a complete scam site. It's all these affiliate people who basically are selling people's courses and shit. And, it's like all they're doing is collecting their commission. It's just all a huge fucking scam. This is what YouTube has become. Look into ClickBank and look into the history of ClickBank. ClickBank was, I believe, don't quote me, but based upon my very vague knowledge, I would say was probably the go-to place for people in the affiliate world to pitch all types of scams. Like if you're a scammer, you're posting your shit on ClickBank, and some affiliate fucking parasite is gonna pitch it because you're giving them 30% commission. Okay. I mean, it got so bad that I think I remember seeing like about 10 years ago, ClickBank was like had some policy where like they were starting to give refunds because it was such a huge scam. That's what YouTube is now. The problem with that is that it's everything's fair game. YouTube doesn't have anything against scams. In fact, everything on YouTube is okay. It's A-okay, right? Even, and I've shown you all this in the past, I've shown you evidence that YouTube allows content that promotes illegal prostitution, that is, prostitution that's illegal in specific countries. It allows content that promotes pedophilia. Okay. It allows content that promotes human sex trafficking. That's right. And many other things aside from all the scams. It's all fine. You just can't say a few things, right? You can't engage in hate speech. And you know what hate speech is. It's fucking saying the goddamn truth about maybe a certain group of parasites that control everything. You do that and you're fucked. You got it? Look into ClickBank. Do some research into it. Once again, I never really, I don't know much about it because I just, once I saw the site, I was like, holy shit, this is all scams. Because at some point, when I was being banned many years ago, gosh, probably about 15 years ago, I briefly looked into it as a way to potentially market my research, my services, and I never did. I've never spent a penny on advertisement, but I was looking to do it. Potentially, I was going to do that. And I was like, holy shit, this is all fucking scams. It's like crazy shit. Now, I don't know. I can't speak for what it is today. I don't know if they've maybe cleaned up a little bit, but I'd say it's not that clean. But that's what YouTube has become. That's what YouTube has become. Let's take a look here. So this is something interesting that I found. I mentioned this. Well, let me finish with this figure here. And there's a decent chance that Scott is here, eavesdropping, or will be. Because Scott used to watch all my videos. He got a lot of information and material from me, of course, and never credited me, of course. But and Scott didn't really even understand the magnitude of who I am. Tell you what a fucking idiot he is. But I just wanted to point this out. When Scott was doing his fake guru detective work, what was he doing? Well, yeah, Scott, in fact, you might have noticed, Scott actually asked me during a live stream if I would go on his show. Right? That's a whole other topic of discussion. But anyway, so, I mean, the guy's like one-dimensional, right? He's one-dimensional. I mean, I'll get back to that story later, but I don't want to just detract from this. So when Scott was doing this guru exposing, what did he do? Well, I posted this image here, and you can see meet Kevin DUI case dismissed. You might recall Scott was talking about Kevin DUI. Now, you all know how I feel about Kevin. Probably nobody dislikes the guy more than me because I truly understand the scale and scope of his scams. But one thing I didn't like, I don't think it was appropriate for Scott to meddle into his personal life. That's not what's on trial here, right? Going in and exposing DUIs. Oh, he got a DUI. So fucking what? It's almost as if he's kind of like distracting away from the most important stuff, right? Like anybody can get a DUI. That doesn't make him a terrible person necessarily, right? So why isn't Scott going after the scam that Kevin is? Why is he focusing on the DUI, which I don't think has any place, right? Why? Well, the reason why, folks, is because number one, Scott wanted views. He wanted drama and he wants views, right? Number one. He wants drama and he wants views. Number two. Scott lacks the ability. He lacks the ability to expose these people. He doesn't have any understanding whatsoever of the capital markets. Zero. And that's exactly why he did the same thing with Tom Nash. Do you remember when he so-called exposed Tom Nash? Oh, he found out that where Tom Nash supposedly lives, which apparently he didn't. But that was his expose. Oh, well, Tom Nash, he actually went to this school, and he's like, basically, his exposing people is doxing people, exposing their personal information. No, Scott, we don't care where Tom Nash is from. That's not what's on trial here. What's on trial are his credentials legit? Does he know what he's talking about? And why is he editing videos and hiding videos? Why don't you expose his scams? And the reason why Scott, first of all, didn't do that is because Scott doesn't have the ability. He doesn't have the ability. Meanwhile, during that same period, what was I doing? I was coming out offering $10,000 for Nash to show me his credentials. Every fucking day. That's how certain I was. Did any of these scam tubers talk about me in my challenge? You got a world-class investment expert willing to give him 10 grand if he can show his credentials, prove his credentials? Was anyone talking about that? No, they weren't. You know why, folks? Because they're all in the same circle jerk. They're all here to game the system, to make money off you and your clicks, ads, affiliate links. And I'm the only guy exposing all these motherfuckers. You understand? But Scott could have he could have said, you know what? You got this guy, And Scott's supposed to be a detective. He can't read a fucking chapter of a book that I posted online. My track record showing irrefutable evidence that I'm one of the top analysts in the world, maybe in world fucking history, one of the top. Maybe. I can make a case that I'm the single best in the world. So I want to see someone out there who's a pro, not some fucking idiot, a pro, experienced pro. Come and tell me I'm not. Prove to me I'm not. Doesn't really matter. I'm one of the best. And you got this guy, one of the best, stating from day one that Tom Nash is a fraud based upon what comes out of his mouth. Did that ever get in Scott's videos? No, it did not. It did not. Why? You understand. You understand what I'm saying, right? So wait a second. You got this guy offering 10 grand, and you know what Nash's response was? Because Scott told me this in emails. He told me this. He said, "Oh well, he said, oh well, Tom told me that 10 grand's nothing to him. He's making $50,000 a month off of FTX. Okay, so I'll raise it. I'll raise it." You understand? Scott is so fucking stupid. He's so utterly stupid that he didn't come back to Nash. He said, "Oh, well, I don't trust the guy with my personal information. It's $10,000 not worth. I'll give it 100. I'll give it $1 million. You understand? That's how stupid Scott is. Scott's so stupid, he has no ability to go through, check into my credentials and who the fuck I am. I mean, Jesus goddamn Christ. All you got to do is know I worked on fucking Wall Street. Virtually nobody on you. I don't know anybody else on YouTube has worked on Wall Street in a productive career, a productive capacity. Mr. Nigaro, Tom Nash doesn't even know the most basic economics. I mean, discounted cash flow is not even. I mean, he doesn't even. You don't even know the level of stupidity this guy. I don't even think he has an undergrad business degree at any school. Okay, first of all. Second of all, I don't think anybody on YouTube knows how to do a discounted cash flow analysis. Nobody. Because you know what? You can't do it with fucking tech stocks. It doesn't work. Okay? That's something that very few people know or understand. It doesn't work. It works with value-oriented stocks. You know why? You know why? And when I tell you this, I've already mentioned it many times before. When I tell you this, if you know anything and you think about it, you're going to realize now who the fuck you're listening to. Big swinging fucking dick. Because I can tell you a lot of big fund managers don't even realize this. Folks, discounted cash flow, that's part of a value investor, a method to value. I'm sorry. Once again, I'm ill and without sleep. That's a method of value investing, right? That is a method of value investing. That was a method, one of the methods used in value investing, right? The traditional valuation methods from a long time ago, right? A long time ago when there were no technology stocks. How do you determine the value of intangible assets? How can you predict the future cash flows from intangible assets? You fucking kidding me? To some degree, okay. Drug patent, okay, to some degree. But then you have to deal with contingencies, drug recall, so on and so forth. We're talking about how do you determine the intellectual property? How can you truly estimate the intellectual property the intangible assets of NVIDIA. How? Tell me how. You understand? Why do you think NVIDIA back a year and a half ago, I think maybe it was May of 2023, came out with that blockbuster earnings report with that huge forecast, the boost in revenues that catapulted them? Because they didn't know before that time. Okay? So discounted cash flow is basically fucking useless, first of all. Second of all, if you're going to use it, it's got to be used within the context of a financial model. Third of all, it's got to be constantly updated with new information. So it's essentially useless to use for at least high-tech companies. Okay? You want to use it with U.S. Steel and Alcoa, or even maybe, something like Kimberly-Clark. That's the fucking reality that you're never going to hear anywhere else. If you're going to use it, it's going to be piecemeal to value certain assets, but not to value a whole fucking company. You think Wall Street uses that? They fucking don't. Okay? This is what I've been saying for the longest time. All it does is creates a self-fulfilling prophecy. Discounted cash flow, my fucking ass. It's so funny. When I was on ScamTube, when I came out going after these motherfuckers a couple of years ago, in the beginning of 2022, they were all doing the little discounted cash flow bullshit. Meanwhile, the market's collapsing. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there, I'm not saying a word. I put a little few hints out there. But I already know the market's going to collapse. It's going to hit a bear market by the beginning of the year. That's fact. I mean, that's in my research. And I'm sitting there watching all these idiots. They're so stupid. They don't even know what the fuck is going on. They're focused on their little stocks. Value down here. That's why you all got fucking slaughtered. You listen to these motherfuckers. Clueless fucking idiots. Anyway. Think about that for a second. What was his, he should have come out and said, you know what? The guy, Stathis, who from day one called you out, made many videos proving why you were a fraud, Nash. He explained it. He went through and explained why you were a fraud. So many things. He was right from day one. Based upon his knowledge, his insider knowledge of the industry. Now, I proved it, I being Scott, based upon showing that you didn't live here, you didn't go to the school. But Stathis knew it simply by listening to what came out of your fucking mouth. That is impressive. It wasn't even mentioned. Because Scott's just a fucking grifter. Let's take a look now. So, I want to show you something here. I mentioned this before. Scott got called out. I showed you earlier where, he doesn't have these affiliate links on his channel anymore. He was called out for promoting this bullshit, and he was called out at least one other time that I'm going to show you here. I've covered up. I don't want people to, Scott's little fanboys attack this person. And here's just a little thing here you can see. And notice, by the way, take a look. Oh, there's just contact email. Oops. I guess he doesn't post it anymore. But this channel is all about exposing fake gurus, Amazon FBA scammers, crypto scammers, and stock market scammers. I also aim to help people learn how to correctly build wealth through the stock market and other non-scam investments. So, Mr. Shafer, how in the fuck do you propose to help people learn how to correctly build wealth through the stock market? given that you know jack diddly fucking squat about the stock market. You understand what I'm saying, folks? You see this? What Scott is doing here, let me explain the psychology, because I know the psychology of these fucking con artists so well. It's not too difficult when you study him as long as myself. What he's doing here, and he's never changed this. It's still on his channel now. He's basically opening up his portal to give you a broad-based theme. So if later on he moves into this area, well, that's what he's been trying to do from day one, right? From day one, Scott, and you can take a look at his channel, take a look at the videos, the old videos. He's been trying to help you correctly build wealth through the stock market. Scott knows nothing about the stock market. He knows as much about the stock market as all these fake gurus, which is nothing. Okay? Zero. And I point this out because it also alludes to Scott's character of who he is and what he's trying to do. You understand what I'm saying, folks? What is Scott really trying to do? He's trying to fucking grift any way he can. Because the reality is a guy who sells shit on Amazon. That's his career. Which is, okay, fine. You want to do that, that's fine. The problem is that this is what we're talking about, folks. People that are easily swayed into areas that they may have not thought that they would go into. So you can see here, I've written here, says the guy who posted Robinhood affiliate links on his videos for years and who only removed these links in late 2023 after people called him a hypocrite. But he still monetizes his channel, and the ads shown are mostly from scammers. Aside from this evidence showing that he's just another dishonest grifter who lies to his naive subscribers, I would like to know how he's qualified to teach people, quote, how to correctly build wealth through the stock market, unquote. Again, he's just another grifter pretending to be your savior. Folks, they all have a different spin. I'm telling you. You can't look at one and say, oh, well, he doesn't come out and pitch penny stocks or crypto, so he's not a scammer. They all have a different spin. The one common link you need to look for is this. Are they monetizing their channel? If they are, you better believe they're scamming you. They're scammers. Okay? Well, Scott posted this line, and it's probably still on his description today, a long time ago. Why? Because he didn't know the direction he was going to take. He wanted to keep it wide open. You understand? And he still has this on here today because maybe he's going to take that direction. You understand? Even though he's not qualified for this, he's not even qualified to be a private investigator. Going on and looking up someone's personal information is not a private investigator. Anybody can fucking do that. Okay? That's not a private investigator. That's why I say all these guys, CoffeeZilla, Spencer Cornelia, Scott, they're not qualified. They're just fucking grifters. They've never uncovered anything for real. But what they do now, they've got a lot of subscribers. They're just reading off news. And I'm going to show you that here in a little bit. So now what I'm going to show you is this little exchange that I found. I mentioned this before. I saved it. Take a look. Take a look here. Let's see. So somewhere he said he's grown. I think in the video, he's grown as a creator. He's grown as a creator. So this guy says, if you've grown as a creator, why are you selling advertisements for the same scams you criticize? I mean, it sounds like he's been listening to me. Or he came upon that idea himself. Scott's response, I don't do sponsorships on my channel. Notice he doesn't say anything about affiliate links, right? Because someone else he already called him out about that. He removed those affiliate links. If you mean the ads that play on my videos, that's controlled by Google. They decide what to run. Response, yes, Google decides, but the problem is Google posts scam ads on 90% of the time. This sounds like the guy's been listening to my content, but that's fine. You're profiting from scammers. Scott replies, no, I'm not. That's a straw man argument. Actually, that's not a straw man argument. You're wrong. You're making money from so you can see what's going on here. He's being called out, and the guy's informing him. So now I want to show you something else. So it's very interesting. I want to show you something else that I came across. And I came across this a long time ago. I haven't looked at any of Scott's stuff. But I came across this like by accident. So I guess I was lucky to come across. Let me show you something here. So in this section of the video, I'm going to play this video. This expose is a joke. It's really pathetic and stupid. Hopefully I'll talk about that here in a second, show you how stupid it is. Another indication that Scott doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He's just completely making a fool out of himself. In this little excerpt here, because I have it written down, in this excerpt, this guy starts talking about how people are posting scam ads and how it's really bad and the person should not allow that on their content. And take a look at, what Scott's reaction is. And listen very carefully to what he has to say. Okay.
What happens when you confront someone and I walk up to you as an independent YouTuber and I say to you, hey man, like this advertiser is doing you wrong and doing the people that you serve wrong by advertising this on your channel, and I send you I'll forward you the email I sent him. And I got crickets, and I'd like to think, I don't know, maybe he had a conversation with them. But I'd like to think that if he'd had that conversation with them, he'd come back to me and say, hey, man, I spoke to them and they just like refuted everything you said. Like, so what's true here? Right?
Yeah.
Like any morally grounded person would look, if there is a claim about the advertisers that are advertising on your YouTube channel, you would look into it and you'd go, hey, I'm not for this stuff. Like I want my audience to be buying things that are good for them. Right?
Sure. So I'll look up these Ben Shapiro and all these different guys.
So you get that? You see, you notice how Scott was kind of feeling uncomfortable and he kind of pushes it away. Right? You got that? So what this guy was talking about, this is what this a gold scam he's talking about. Notice how Scott was thinking like, oh shit, he's talking about me. I mean, people have accused me of that. Notice how Scott kind of pushes that aside. He doesn't address that issue. He doesn't respond to the guy. You see that? Because Scott realizes he's doing the same damn thing. Scott realizes he's been called out for a guy who's supposed to, he's allowing scam ads on his channel. You all understand that. You see that, right? You see the irony there? I mean, it's fucking unbelievable. Everybody get that, right? Now, let me go here and show you. Yeah, this is it right here. This is the video. You might want to watch the whole video. This video is a joke. It's fucking stupid, and it shows how stupid and just Scott he's out of his fucking league. Basically, he gets this guy on his channel who used to work for a gold company, and Scott's complaint is, oh, they don't show the prices on their website. They want you to call in, and then they want to sell you something else. So fucking what? That's not a scam, Scott, you dipshit. Gold scam is the type of shit I've been exposing for 15 years. Okay? All this shit with all these kingpins. This is nothing. It's so stupid. So I actually wrote on he did another video, by the way, and apparently he's made it private or he's removed it. I wrote a comment that basically said on one of these other gold videos, I said, Scott, the rabbit hole's much deeper. I've been exposing this stuff for 15 years, and I should pull up the comment. It's on my other channel in the comment thread. You could see it. And I said, I said, you know, if you want to know, you can reach out. That video is gone. And I've been blocked. Let me show you here. I had it. I had it when I found this out. I fucking had it with this guy. He's blocked me. Let me show you here. It's because what he's doing now, he's just basically, you know, when there's a security breach, oh, well, Social Security numbers were hacked. Scott wants to make a video and tell you about it. Just like CoffeeZilla is doing now. They're milking the fucking ad machine, right? That's all they're doing. He's milking the whole fucking thing. He's not even pretending anymore to try and expose anything. He's just a fucking grifter. Take a look right here. Some stupid thing.
Guys, there is a new...
Which, as I've seen in the comments, apparently he even got this thing wrong. But did he expose the scam? No, he didn't. He wants to... Scott is now the broadcaster of scams that he reads about in the news. What a fucking loser. Dude, you're like 40 years old or something. Get a meaning in your life. You're a whore for scam ads. That's not something to be proud of. Loser. Here you go. Take a look. Try and find this on his channel. Scott, as this and your other videos demonstrate, you're incapable of busting any real scams, so you milk YouTube ad revenues to merely report on scams, all while selling ads for scammers on your videos. How ironic. Newsflash, scam busters do not advertise for scam artists. I saw a scam ad during this video. Blocked. What's wrong, Scotty boy? Are you afraid of the truth? Folks, you understand what I'm talking about now when it comes to morality and character? These are people that hold themselves higher up, higher on the pedestal than these scammers. They're the ones that are going to help you. No, they're not. They're the same. Scott ain't no different than any of these other motherfuckers. You understand? Listen, counterfeit bullion scam is not even, that's a fucking joke. I'm talking about high level shit. Okay, you don't even know about it. I've been exposing, I'm the king in the world of exposing the whole gold scene. Anybody that knows me knows that. I was exposing it more than 15 years ago. I've got hundreds of videos and articles on it. Nobody in the world, none of these gold kingpins would ever put me on a neutral platform with them. Because you see, I told you folks, once again, here's how it works. These scammers, whether it's the crypto guys or and I'm talking the top guys. Think about the top gold promoters in the world. Think about the top crypto promoters. I'm not talking about these little fucking twerps that everyone knows are scammers. I'm talking about people who are respected, right, by a lot of people. Okay? They would never go up against me because they work on disinformation. And when they're confronted with a world-class expert who knows the fucking deal, who's going to expose the whole deal, they're fucked. You understand? It's deep trouble for them. You understand? That's how it works. So I've exposed all this shit. You know, the gold penny stock pumping, all the fake, all the lies with gold. You know, there's a lot of shit going on. I exposed Glenn Beck 15 fucking years ago with Gold Line and all this shit when he was promoting Peter Schiff and all this hyperinflation shit, which is impossible to occur in the U.S. I mean, it just goes on and on. I mean, I'm just... So, I mean, there's all kinds of scams going on. Okay? The big one, and you'll see it on YouTube, because the gold pumpers are back. They're back alive again now that gold is in a bull run. You know, the big one basically is to get you to think gold is going to the moon. And then if you think that, then they got these peddlers out there of penny stocks, and they'll get some guys on there. Oh yeah, he's got the ABC Resource Mining Company, and it's you can, if you think gold is going to $5,000 an ounce, you can make a lot more money if you buy this penny stock. It's going to the moon. That's the big scam. Nobody knows but me. I exposed it. And they get these fucking peddlers on there, Rick Rule and Eric Sprott and Marin Katuza and all these fucking bullshit artists. And they're basically doing things, at least in this aspect, it's actually legal. But they're pulling a mind fuck on the stupid gold bugs. They're too stupid to realize that they're basically doing legal front running. What they do is they're like, oh, well, Rick Rule. This is where this whole mythology of creating this myth of like Doug Casey, like these guys are great investors. No, they're not. They're fucking losers. Rick Rule, you're a loser, dude. Why are you still 75 years old and you're still in the fucking industry after 50 years? You haven't retired? You're a fucking loser. But you see, they create this mythology. So when, they talk about, Rick Rule and Doug Casey, the legendary investors, they've invested a lot of money into this gold stock. And so what they're doing basically is that's a legal way of actually kind of a disclaimer. They're disclosing to you that they're invested. But they position it in a way to make it sound like, oh, wow, these great investors, they bought it, so I'm going to buy it. You understand. So how the scam works is basically the stupid idiots, most of these gold bugs are stupid idiots, unfortunately. They just thinking, oh, wow, and they buy it, and they pump up the price, and guess what? Doug Casey and these guys do with their stocks. So it's kind of a legal pump and dump, you see, but they've masqueraded it. I exposed that game a long time ago. Okay. All of Peter Schiff's bullshit. These guys won't fucking go up against me. That's why I say, what, you think these YouTube fucking fake gurus or something? I expose all these fucking big kingpins. These fucking little clowns are nothing. They look child's play, like infants. So, there you have it. Scott blocked me. Let's take a look now. Let me show you something else. I just found this, and this, folks, this is why it's important to save all this shit from these guys. So you all know Tom Nash alters his videos, he splices them, he removes them. Save them all, okay? Save them all. I don't have any more room. I've got too much shit going on. Let me show you. Even Scott changes the title of things. Let me show you here. Let me show you proof. Take a look at this. So this is the video from November 2022. Take a look. I just ran across this, kid you not, just before I started the stream, just by accident. I happened to have saved this because I realized like a couple of years ago that this is a fucking joke. Like this is it's like egg all over his face, right? So you see the title here, right? Okay. Hold on a second here. Give me 1 second.
What happens when you
I guess I didn't put it here. Hold on a second. Well, I will do it now. Give me a second. I'll load it. You're going to love this. You're going to love this. Give me a second. So basically, I'm going to show you he's changed the title. I can't find the damn thing.
So let's get to the heart of the...
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Found it finally. Sorry about that. Thought I had loaded it. There you have it. See that? Take a look. See that? So Scott made this original video. He titled it, Meta and Facebook Will Go Bankrupt. You see that? He changed it. He was telling you, he was predicting Meta and Facebook to go bankrupt. What a fucking idiot. What a loser and idiot. Why? Because he wants the clicks. You understand? He wants the clicks. This is the guy who's telling you he's going to help you build wealth through the stock market. I mean, I don't know. I mean, think about this. Folks, you starting to get the picture. You see why I'm exposing this guy. I haven't even, if I look into this guy, if I look at his videos, I will guarantee you I will spot a lot of shit. I haven't watched maybe one or two of his videos in full, but that's been a long time ago. So you see what I'm saying, folks? That's why I said, look, I've been looking for people. I was looking for people, 15 years ago, more than that. And I just come to the conclusion, like, they're all fucking scammers. You think you can trust somebody, and then you find out. That's why I'm so fucking good now that I can spot people quickly. And it's always the dollar signs. Nobody wants to do anything anymore unless there's dollar signs. This is the problem. And it goes to, I saw a video earlier today on this guy, and he's making a video saying, oh yeah, these YouTubers, they're giving clickbait, they're not telling you the truth. And he wants to tell you the truth. And guess what? In part of his video, he wants to tell you about some, safety wing. Yeah, it's good. I use it. You can click the link below. And I'm like, I look at the link, and if it's a fucking affiliate link, it's got his affiliate referral in it, right? And I'm thinking, like, Jesus fucking Christ. You see what I'm saying? It's a Trojan horse. He's going to come out with it. It's basically just to get clicks. All these people, they've got all their little different ways to get clicks. And of course, you got obvious scam artists like Meet Kevin and Tom Nash. Now, he's just all Mr. Clickbait now. Oh, this guy, right? Folks, clickbait is dishonest. I don't know if you know that. Clickbait is dishonest, right? It's very dishonest. I don't know how anybody could trust anything from anyone who's doing clickbait. That tells you that they're a dishonest person. They're trying to fool you, to trick you, to come and watch their content, to read their content. That's dishonest. Why would you trust someone who's pulling a gimmick like that, a dishonest gimmick? Why would you trust their content? I mean, think about it. Fucking think about it. People say, well, everyone does it. Well, everyone's a fucking scammer then if they do it. Think about it, folks. Think about it. If someone is using clickbait, right, and you don't know it's clickbait necessarily. Sometimes you do, but you may not know it until afterwards, right? If you realize afterwards and then you read the content, you should say, look, you should never trust this person again, ever. They're not honest. So why would you trust their content? They're just trying to get the money from you. They're using you as a fucking whore to give them ad dollars, right? That's why I say, folks, things were a lot better before the internet. Of course, a lot of people don't agree. They think things were, listen, Nobody hates the fucking media more than me. But I'll tell you one thing, we were a lot better off before the internet. Because you know what? You had professional organizations. Sure, they weren't perfect. Sure, they lied. But you know what? They had a vetting process. They had some standards. You understand? They had consequences. People had some consequences sometimes for stories they reported. Versus today, where anybody with a fucking computer or a phone becomes a news person. It's a dangerous world. It's the same thing, the same analogy with trading and investing in stocks. You may think you're better off because you have access, instant access to buy and sell stocks. But trust me on this, you'd be much better off if you didn't have that access. If it was before the internet and you had to call a broker, yeah, you'd pay a higher commission, a hell of a lot higher. But you know what? You wouldn't be fucking trading in and out of stocks. And if you think that's going to make you money, you're a dummy. You'd be a lot more thoughtful. You'd be an investor. You understand? Now, unfortunately and strikingly, shockingly, most people don't even understand what I just said, even though it's pretty low level, because most people today are fucking stupid. That's the reality. So, and I told you guys about what to expect on this AI scam. No one else is telling you about this. I told you, I did a video on it. It's the beginning of the end. It's the final phase. It's the end. Okay? You're going to have people who are going to go to this AI authority figure that's going to be on your device, and AI is going to tell you, they're going to tell you the way it is, and you're going to believe it, not knowing that they're going to specific sources. Okay? I mean, it was hard enough before. It was difficult enough before, and I say before in terms of now. It's difficult enough now to find out what's going on by doing a search online. It's extremely difficult because you have to know a lot. If you don't, you're going to get steered into the shithole, right? The internet creates confirmation bias. So you have to really understand what's going on in order to extract information from the internet, right? But at least you have a chance. You do have a chance. But with AI now, basically whatever you put in, they're going to do all the searching for you. Boom, right there in front of your face, and you're going to believe it. I'm saying you in terms of, think about these future generations of kids. They are completely fucked. And it's going to be controlled. You all heard about the problem with Google's AI, whatever it's called, like all these answers that came out, and they were all woke answers. And so Google had to go back to the drawing board and kind of see how they could finagle their way to not make it so obvious. You understand what I'm saying? AI is a fucking scam. Show me who the guys behind the curtain are. You understand? I want to see who the motherfuckers are behind the AI curtain. And then you're going to see why you're getting these answers that you're getting. I already tested this shit out a long time ago. It's complete bullshit. Okay? The key is to see who's behind that curtain. Understand what the rules are for coming up with the synthesis of the answer. And once you understand that, I mean, hopefully it's going to show you the sources like it does now. Like Microsoft Copilot and these other sources will show you. They'll show you the sources that they're getting the stuff from. I mean, let me give you an example. A great example, by the way, is, for instance, if you ask about maybe something, let's say, if you ask about, let's say, a certain group controlling the media or Wall Street, and you're going to get a politically correct answer that's going to shame you and make you feel bad and basically say that you're being racist. And then it's going to show you, if you continue with that, it's going to start showing you sources from these same groups that are controlled by the same people. By the way, FYI, if you don't believe me, you can try it out for yourself. Okay? I should actually do some streams on, based upon what's going on. I don't know what YouTube would allow, based upon Israel. The fucking psychopaths. Israel is an illegal, it's a criminal terrorist state. It's illegal occupation. There's no doubt about that. And, you can see what's going on there. And, I don't even want to even get into that. It's fucking disgusting. I'm not surprised. It's been going on for decades. But, so that's it, folks. Just keep in mind, all these guys, if they're on YouTube and they're monetizing, you know what to expect. They're there to scam. They are there to scam you. I got my Jeremy video coming out, by the way. Expose this fucking fraud. This guy's a complete fraud. Hopefully you all saw the stream on this guy, his subtle techniques, right? His little subtle techniques he uses. And in fact, I should probably go through and talk about another person I've mentioned before. I'll do it maybe in another stream. This wanted to focus on Scott. Wanted to focus on Scott. Yeah, so go ask our friend. Ask our friend Scott why he blocked me. Huh? Ask him why he blocked me. And also ask him why he monetizes his channel, why he's selling advertisements for scam artists. Ask him why. Why is he doing that? Right? You can also ask him, and you can ask this to CoffeeZilla as well, why these guys to sit there and talk about scams that have been exposed. That's all they do. CoffeeZilla actually pretends like he exposes scams, and he doesn't. Everything's been exposed, or it's just obvious. But, it's not difficult to fool the geniuses on YouTube, the genius audience of YouTube, right? I mean, folks, once again, how many of these guys are going to do what they do if their channel's not monetized? Right? How many of them are going to do that? I've been exposing scammers for many years for free. I never made a business out of it. Ever. And you know why? Because I've been really exposing the scammers. These guys are just out to grift. That's all. They just have a different angle. Everybody that monetizes has a different angle. Just remember that. They all have their own little angle. Some of the angles are common. Some of them are not. Right? You've got the obvious fake investment gurus. Their angle is obvious. And they're going to attract a certain group of people. Right? They're going to attract the ravenous wolves who think they're going to make easy money. And what's going to happen is they're going to actually lose their ass. And during the process, they won't learn anything of any value. And then you have the guys, the critics of these guys, they're a smaller number of them because the audience is smaller. You've got those are the fake guru detectives, right? You see? Scott, CoffeeZilla, Spencer Cornelia, right? That's fact, folks. Every single person on ScamTube who's monetizing their channel is a scammer. They're partnering with YouTube. It's a business partnership. I'm seeing on YouTube just recently, they've got all these little things that they're pulling up to get you patched in to monetization and all this crap. It's a business, folks. The problem is YouTube has no standards. Any fucking scammer can advertise on ScamTube. This is a image that I made, by the way, probably about 14 years ago. One of the images when I was exposing the gold pumpers and all the bullshit, the scammers. Yeah, it's about 14 years old, I believe. Maybe even older, actually. You can see here the people I've got there. Of course, I was exposing Don the Con many years ago. He's actually the first con artist I wrote about back in 2008. Don the Con. Yeah. So, yeah, well, Robinhood has ruined a lot of lives, huh? Ask yourself why Robinhood is still legal. You notice how the criminal mafia guys that run all these criminal operations, whether it's Facebook or Robinhood or what have you, you notice how they can basically do anything they fucking want and they get fined at worst. You all remember, everybody remember the election scandal with Facebook, Cambridge Analytica? You all remember that stuff? How the election was compromised due to Facebook? I mean, that after all led to Facebook rebranding itself into Meta. You do know that, right? You all do know that, correct? You all don't remember that? What happened to Zuckerberg? Nothing. He's worth $200 billion now. This is a parasitic scumbag who got wealthy selling everyone's data, creating all types of criminal activity, a portal for criminal activity. Nothing's happened to the guy, right? Just like Wall Street. Nothing happened to anybody on Wall Street after the financial crisis in 2008. They weren't even investigated. You know why? Because they're protected. Just like Mr. Zuckerberg, he's protected. Just like, what's his name? The guy, Robinhood, he's protected. You understand, folks? There are certain people that are protected. Just like you have, people's activities, they're always protected because they have a shield that can be raised up. You understand? You see how it works? In fact, you can be so protected that you can actually genocide another group of people and you're protected. You can do it. It's okay. You got it? Makes sense? That's the world we live in, folks. You know what? When you can't even speak the truth, you can't even speak your opinion, you're not free. Normally, that type of behavior is restricted to banana republics and communist countries, right? When you can't say just kind of normal things that you can actually show, you can put an argument and show the evidence, and you can't say it because that same group of people actually runs everything. That tells you you're not free. You're a fucking slave. Think about that. And then think about what's going on in the world today. Okay? And then you're going to have a dose of reality.